We did a series of them like over a span of time, and I think the biggest one has 4 million views. I mean, leverage your other platforms to drive traffic to YouTube.
You're literally just taking regular life and being inspired by that. One of the things about having a cooking channel, which I know all too well, is you come up with these amazing recipes or you're sharing foods that you grew up with, but you kind of run out pretty quick. Take us through, how do you get inspired? What are the things that you do to come up with video ideas for your channel?
I mean, I definitely think that there's an opportunity for us to look at what else is going on in the world. Like, for example, when this whole quarantine started, there were so many different ideas or themes that you would see. Number one, cooking with what you have, cooking with what, cooking pantry staple items. So I looked at, and I just had an ear out what's going on out there. People were buying out rice. People were buying out pasta. So you have a ton of rice and a ton of pasta. So what should you do with it? And then I decided, let's create like a one pot pasta with very few ingredients, doing what you might have.
Which, by the way,
pantry.
I made that one pot pasta and it's awesome, you guys. You're literally just taking regular life and being inspired by that. You're making observations, and I think this pandemic and this crisis that the world's going through is a great example. We all can kind of relate right now. And I love what you brought up about the whole, just the rice. Like every time you go to Costco, the rice is gone. Like I was floored. I was like, I can't believe, like, I didn't know this many people love rice. And that was just a simple observation that inspired an idea.
Yeah, I mean, like that photo that went viral of people climbing on each other to get that rice from Costco. I'm like, what are you gonna do with all that rice? Like, obviously you need some recipes, right? So here you go.
For sure. It's one thing to get a video idea. It's another to have an idea that actually gets views. And recently you just put up a video, Dalgona coffee. So I'm sure a lot of people know about it. And you recently put this up and it's got quite a bit of views. I think 1 million+ views. I mean, it was definitely a trend. Tell us a little bit about how you came up with that idea. I know that it's a little bit different because there's 3 different Dalgona coffee examples. Tell us, bring us through the process of how you actually came up with the idea and why it got 1 million views.
2 months ago or whenever it was, where the Dalgona just became so popular on TikTok, you were seeing it everywhere, right? Like everyone was making it. I started seeing it carrying over to Instagram and then on YouTube. And it just became this thing where everyone was trying, and I knew that I had to try it, especially when my sister, who doesn't really like try very many trends, started showing me her version or like her attempt at it. I'm like, look, I'm gonna show you how to make it correctly. And then, I mean, staying true to my own brand, like I always try to put my own twist and spin on things. I mean, this isn't original at all, like doing a matcha Dalgona. I mean, I wanted to give people options, right? Because if you don't drink coffee, well, what about matcha? And then I remember like golden milk, which has done so well on my channel. I've like infused it into overnight oats. I've made golden milk lattes. Like that's just such a popular flavor that I'm sure like non-coffee drinkers would want to try. So I made it 3 ways to give them a range of options. Plus it looks beautiful on a thumbnail and like colors. I just always love to make my videos and my thumbnails look very colorful. So
because when I saw that video, obviously I noticed it had done well in terms of views compared to some of your other uploads, is the fact that you aren't necessarily making a ton of content for TikTok. I'm sure you are uploading there and you're consuming, but it's not your main platform, but you use it as the inspiration to create this video. That's something that people forget. It's like everybody doesn't just live on YouTube. In fact, right now, I mean, to be honest, TikTok is all the rage. Everybody's talking about it. A lot of my friends who are creators are on there, but what can you pull out of those platforms to spark a video idea for here? And what I like is TikTok is super relevant right now. I don't know. There's something about being at home in quarantine and just swiping through all these different TikToks. It's going to basically tell you what's popular. It's up to you to translate that into a YouTube video.
I think TikTok to YouTube is a really useful tool. It doesn't always work. I mean, prime example, The one pan egg toast was something that was inspired from TikTok as well, but it didn't do nearly as well as our Dalgona video did. It's trial and error. If you're inspired to do something, definitely do it. Use other platforms to inspire you to bring content over to YouTube. I just have to say it doesn't always work that way, but
sure.
if it does, you know, it could be really rewarding, like that Dalgona video. I mean, obviously YouTube is our business. It's how we make money, so we do need those views in order to survive. But I would say part be strategic, but part have your own voice, because at the end of the day, building your brand, building your voice and identity is stronger than any YouTube algorithm. I mean, leverage your other platforms to drive traffic to YouTube. So I've been doing that on Instagram, and all boats rise if, you know, you're doing really well and have that strong brand identity. I mean, I would just say keep an ear out on what's trending on YouTube and try to put your own spin on it, because if you hit that suggested video or suggested like from other videos, it'll really help you out too. Like, there's so many different factors to put in place. I mean, if you look at our couple of recent videos, some of them are done based out of like passion for me, like noodles. We love noodles. Yeah, I keep a very nice balance between what I am passionate about and what I think will get views. And so you just kind of have to keep a balance on like content ideas that way, because you can't keep chasing that algorithm and hoping that it'll, you know, catch on, because that's kind of soul crushing.
Oh, for sure. And that's another great point about how you may upload something, it doesn't do well now, and maybe that happens for a few videos, but then when you have that one hit that gets suggested, that gets picked up by the algorithm, how it gives it so much, how it gives your other videos so much love. I completely agree. In fact, a majority of our views come from just a handful of videos, but it definitely helps get views to the other videos, because the algorithm, this is how it works, you guys. If you have a video that does really well and people are watching it and like there's audience retention, YouTube thinks, hey, because this video is doing well, let's suggest more of this creator's videos in their library, and actually puts it into their feed. Would you say that's correct?
100%. Yeah, 100%. That's why, for example, if you look at our biggest video, which is the overnight oats one, we did a series of them like over a span of time, and each of them, like I think the biggest one has 4 million views, and then the next one has over 1 million views. Like, it just, if you do videos that could relate to each other, it'll point to each other and keep you watching.